What's going on, y'all? This is B-Boy Boogie from Retro Flow and Frequency Crew, and you're watching the Breakologist Season 2, Episode 5. Let's go. So, Episode 3 was about upper body exercises, and I thought it was a good idea to make a video about lower body exercises this time. When it comes to leg exercises, in my opinion, it's best to keep it simple. You can have good results with simple exercises. You don't have to go crazy about it. There are multiple ways you can warm up your body before working out your legs. For example, you can top rock for 10 minutes. You can active stretch. You can jog. You can run. But one that I really like is rope jumping. Rope jumping effectively works and strengthens your calf muscles, and it can probably make your top rocks more agile. I like to do 500 reps of rope jumping in case I use this as a warm-up. Try to keep it simple. Even though some exercises might go out from the safe zone, you can still be able to do them without getting injured, especially as a breaker. Number 2, start with your body weight and then gradually add weights and increase weights. And number 3, make it fun. Be creative. Just because it's a systematic program like we usually use when we work out, sometimes some people use systematic programs when they train breaking. There's a certain set of rules. There's a certain number of reps. Rest is calculated. But just because it is a systematic program doesn't mean that it can be fun. We can make it fun, especially as breakers. You can add swipe between your squats. You can add, I don't know, you can make a combination of stabs with squats. You can make a combination of halos with head to handstand raise and back to it, you know. It's up to you based on what you want to learn, based on what you want to improve, and based on what you want to develop and what you want to have fun with. So if you made it this far in the video, I would like to thank you. Please feel free to share, subscribe, like, check out the clothing store. There are a few articles there if you want to support. It's very, very appreciated. And I would like to continue with telling you a short story about how I got into fitness. So a few years ago, I went to Philly at this jam called Second Sunday. It was a Sunday night. It was a one-on-one breaking competition. I remember it now. It was a foggy weather. It was raining. It wasn't really the good type of weather you would want to travel on, and I was working the next day early in the morning, but I had this surge of breaking, you know, battling people and see if I can win, because me and my crew, shout out to Retro Flow, had a few good runs in some previous battles. I was feeling good. I remember I was training pretty often, and I went to Philly. I got there and we started warming up, and I did something very, very simple, nothing crazy. I did a 90 reverse, landed on my left leg, and I heard a pop, and that was it. I tore my meniscus. Now, mind you that I had water in both of my knees before, had both of my toes sprained, my ankle sprained, like groin and calf pain, very, very usual, you know, and I'm just talking about the lower part of the body, just the legs. But this time it was different, because no matter how much holistic recovery, meditation, Epsom salt bath, nothing helped, you know, so I needed surgery. The meniscus doesn't heal itself. It's a cartilage between your femur and tibia bone. So I got a surgery. It was a bummer. It sucked because, like I said, I felt like I was doing good in competition, and probably because I went that Sunday to battle, I kind of forced my body, being already tired, I don't know, and it gave up. So I was able to recover pretty fast, I would say. First visit to the doctor, I went to see him running. You know, I was itching to break, even though I was training my upper body while healing my leg, and while being injured before surgery, it wasn't the same, you know, like. So due to this injury, I started wanting to learn more about the mechanics of the human body. I was working out before. I was training. I've always been active, and, you know, push-ups, pull-ups, tried some weights before, not like crazy, not anything related to fitness, but, you know, like as a boy from being young, trying different sports, like you do stuff. But never really worked out my legs. So having this major injury motivated me to learn more about the human mechanics, the human body mechanics, learn more about how to become stronger. I found out that strengthening muscles around the joint might help prevent injuries, and I didn't know that. And like I said, I wasn't really working out my legs, so I started paying attention more and more to my legs health. And while being injured and waiting to recover, I got inspired by my crewmate Jerry Valme. Shout out to Jerry, because he was already using the common grounds between breaking and fitness. So he was one of the reasons why I started learning more about fitness, and eventually I became a certified personal trainer through the National Academy of Sports and Medicine. Jerry being one of the inspirations, and the other motivation was me trying to learn more about the human mechanics. So for those who don't know Jerry Valme, he's like me from Retro Flow Crew. He's a breaker, he's a teaching artist, he's a martial artist, and he's a personal trainer. If you ask me, to be able to do all of these things, you need to be pretty self-aware of your physical condition. Being in close connection with Jerry and battling together, training together, talking, conversations on the phone, meeting, it kept motivating me, and that's why I was telling you earlier, like, try to have different conversations with different people to learn more. It helps. Sometimes we might get stuck and have our horse glasses, thinking that the way we do things is the best way, but it's always good to have an extra eye helping you out. For those who would like to know more about Jerry, I would leave links with the page for his YouTube channel, and also Instagram handles for martial arts, dancing, and fitness. And if you want to know even more about the way he's working, maybe you want to work with him in the future, he's offering a free booklet, a PDF, and you can contact him or contact me to ask about it, and you might get a hold of it. And who knows, maybe if you want to work with him, maybe you want to ask some questions, it's up to you. Just let us know. Now, going forward about this injury I had, my meniscus was kind of healed, and I started battling. I started training again, but I didn't realize that unconsciously I was afraid of putting pressure like before on my left leg, so I was compensating with my right leg. Happens, common mistake, but it did happen during a battle to get injured on my right knee this time. And that's when I really got scared, and I realized that the methods that I was using to strengthen my legs were not enough, because I was doing a lot of it by myself alone. I was reading and applying, or watching a YouTube video and applying. And that's why I was telling you earlier, it's always good to have an extra eye and an extra opinion. Being in the situation where I kept telling myself that I might not be able to dance if I continue like this, I started looking again for different solutions. And this is when I contacted my friend Norris from Romania. Shout out to Norris from Romania and Hungary. If I'm not mistaken, Norris went through 2 knee surgeries. And I saw that he was working out on his knees, and he was telling people that he had good results. And I contacted him, and he sent me a program. And I used that program for a long time. I still use it sometimes. And shout out to you, Norris, for sending me that, because bro, it helped me, and you probably gave me a few good more years of dancing because of what you sent me. So shout out to you. So Norris is also a breaker. He's a fitness trainer. He's from B Elements crew and Fresh Roots clan from Hungary. He represented Hungary in the Olympic Games, and like I said, he's a breaker and also a fitness trainer. He's probably been breaking for more than 20 years, and if you want to know more about his project, Break the Pain, you can follow it on the links and handles that I'm leaving down below. So shout out once again to Norris. Shout out to Jerry Valme. Thank you for the help, for the support, and I do believe that I am here because y'all had a good influence and y'all helped me with what you send me. So this is it for this episode. Shout out to y'all if you watched this entire thing. Once again, shout out to Norris. Shout out to Valme. If there's a lesson I would leave you with from all of this, is be open to hear different opinions. We don't know it all. Be open to learn. And like Carl Gustav Jung touched, the self is always becoming. You don't arrive, you evolve. Peace. Keep rising. Now, shout out once again to Norris and to Valme. Big shout out to Valme for sending me this sets of programs in 2025 that helped me stay healthy, stay in track with my breaking, with my physical condition. If you're interested to work with him, let me know. I was able to stay on track with these programs for 11 weeks. The program is made to go through different phases. I'm not going to tell you what it is. If you want to know more, like, feel free to contact the Breakologist page or contact Valme. But I was able to stay consistent for 11 weeks, going through different phases, reaching plyometrics and explosive stuff. So it was pretty cool. Shout out to y'all and shout out to everyone across the globe. Thank you for watching. Peace and keep rising.